So I wanted to do a recording about flowers, about some of the flowers in the Rider-Waite deck. It's not all of them because there's so many different little references, but just to run through some of the symbolism and references to flowers in this deck. I think it's really important to explore the symbolism in the deck because it reminds you to look at the cards. It's so important when we're reading tarot to look at the cards. However many years you've been reading tarot, or even if it's your first week of tarot, looking at the cards, looking at the imagery is an important part of the process. So it's very easy to get caught up with keywords and crib sheets. I do have two on my website. I know they're useful, but if we can unlock the symbolism, if we can find meaning in the pictures, then it takes you away from left brain logical remembering keywords and into right brain symbolism, creative thinking, psychic connection, and it really changes the way you read. Don't forget, if you're looking for more information, I have a book published, Shameful Selling here, but you can get it from Amazon. You can get it as an ebook, you can get it as a book, or you can get it direct from my website. It is an in-depth book. There is lots of information here, and what you will notice is I go in depth in the symbolism in each of the cards, really trying to make it quite practical. One of my favourite flowers that is in the Rider-Waite deck is the sunflower. Now, to the best of my knowledge, because I'm still seeing things in these cards, even though I use them day in, day out, the sunflower is only on two cards. The sun and the Queen of Wands. To me, the sunflower reflects your solar plexus. It reflects a sense of confidence and it connects you to phrases like I want, I am, and really connecting to, and to me, ego isn't a bad thing. Being connected with our ego allows us to keep it in check and to keep it in the right balance within our life. So if you're doing a reading and you're looking at the cards and you happen to see that you've got sunflowers twice, that's really important because they are only, to the best of my knowledge, on these two cards. And it is usually reflecting self-confidence, sense of ego. It is asking you to either embrace that, or maybe it's asking you to tamper it down. I would argue most of the time we are being asked to step in to our self-confidence. Another favorite flower reference that I just love is the white rose. So there we have it, the white rose on death itself, and the other white rose, because most of the roses in this deck are going to be red. We have red roses down here, red roses here, we have red roses growing here, and on the Magician, which we'll get to soon. So red roses are everywhere. But actually, I'm going to have to scoot through these. Ooh, I don't have one here that I thought I did. I'm going to have to find that in a minute. Actually, white roses are quite rare. Don't be mistaken in thinking that the flowers in the Six of Cups, which I am now rapidly looking through my deck because I could have sworn I got that out. To me, the flowers in the Six of Cups are not roses. They are white, but they're not lilies, they're not roses. I have done some research and I have looked in, and various people have as well that I know, and we've come up with various flowers that they could be, but they don't feel like roses or lilies to me. It's very simple. Mythologically, the first rose was white, and then pick the deity of your choice, whether it is Aphrodite to Jesus to Freya, pick a deity, pricks themselves on the, and I appear to have lost my Six of Cups, so I will just have to park that one for now. Pricked themselves on the thorn, and a drop of their blood landed on the rose, and so the rose was made physical, and so the rose was made manifest, and so the rose, which of course wild roses have got 5 petals, really linking to the pentagram and to the 5 points of the body, the 2 arms, 2 legs, the head, sort of the quintessential essence of spirit made manifest. The red rose is the body, the physical manifestation, and the white rose is without blood, without color, without life. And there is the kenning of death makes a man pale. The idea that the white rose, the pale man, is dead. And so we have there as a very clear image in death, the white rose. And subtly there, we have the white rose in the fool as well. So to me, the fool is an unincarnated spirit. We have the white sun, we have the white rose, we have the black pole, which you will also notice on the Six of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. And the point of this is you don't have to remember which symbol is in which card. The point is that if you are doing a reading, and this is why, I mean, I could probably talk for 3 hours like this, just linking the symbols, linking the symbols, linking the symbols. It is a constant fascination for me every time I lay the cards out to see which symbols are repeated and which are not. Always have a look at, now remember, this isn't a wand the fool is holding. The wands are almost physical. They are like branches with leaves, thrusting out of them. Oh, and I've just found the Six of Cups. The wand in the Hermit is golden, as if it is lit up from inside by a light. The wand in the Eight of Cups is similar, golden, as if lit up from inside. Whereas if you look at the Six of Swords, the man punting the boat, he also has a black pole. And so you don't need to memorize these. But if when you've got your spread out, your 6 or your 9 cards or your 3 or however many you're doing, and you stop and look, and I mean really look, then if you've got the Fool and the Six of Swords, hopefully you'll notice, look at that. They've both got black poles. And then that might make you consider. It might not. It might take you off, in another direction. But it is a link between the two cards, and the white rose, the white sun, the black pole, to me, are all really focusing on a non-physical spirit. This could be you, your core spirit, as you journey through the Fool's journey. It could be spirit guides. It could be something spiritual. It could be somebody after death or before birth. Actually, the Fool is my number one indicator of pregnancy. So to me, the white roses are definitely indicators of non-physical. Here is the Six of Cups, which I had got out but couldn't notice. To me, yes, there are white flowers there. The naivety. To me, the white flowers suggest that this is, classically we might think of giving flowers or exchanging flowers, at a physical celebration of life, at a birth or a marriage or a death, or a lover might give flowers. To me, the white flowers here are a sense of innocence and naivety. So white roses, white flowers, sunflowers. And then you've got this beautiful duality between the red roses and the white lilies. If we just have a look, they are perhaps most profoundly illustrated in The Magician, where we have the bower of the red roses, and then down here we have very beautifully drawn the red roses and the white lilies. So the red roses, they are about the physical body, our actual mundane life, our physical emotions, our physical needs, manifesting in this physical plane. And the white lilies are about spiritual connection, our inner journey, that part of us that is always a little bit connected to the spiritual world, if you like. And to me, what this is saying is that the magician makes changes in both the physical and the non-physical world. Really powerful. In the Hierophant, we have one monk wearing the robes of the red roses and one monk wearing the robes of the white lilies. Again, this idea of basically heaven and earth. The keys, my understanding is they represent St. Paul and the keys to heaven and earth. And even though this is a spiritual image, His feet are firmly on the floor and we can see both of them peeking out. There is an idea with the Hierophant that, yes, there's a spiritual connection there, but it also needs to be manifested in the physical world. This is about walking the walk, not just talking the talk, if you like. Somebody that acts the same way as they tell others to act. Again, I just love that imagery. In the Eight of Pentacles, we have the lilies growing in the field. To me, this is very clearly linking to the Garden of Eden. To me, the Garden of Eden is an analogy of being in union with the divine. You may consider that to be before your spirit is incarnated. We've all got different concepts of that, what that would mean. And then the birthing takes place through this arbor, this arch of red roses, this idea that we step out of our comfort zone, or we are made physically manifest. And on the Two of Wands here, and just, I mean, again, this is why I never get tired of tarot. I am constantly amazed, absorbed, and delighted by the symbolism. Here we have the red roses and the white lilies painted on the parapet. To me, the Two of Wands is about hope and fear in equal measure. It is about, yes, I've got the world in my hand. Yes, I'm looking out across the view, and it is exciting, and I am excited. But I am here in my place of safety behind the parapet. The wands need to be grounded. But here we've got one that is high on the wall and one that is even bolted to the wall. This is knowing that I need to step forward, but consciously keeping myself safe. I always think of the Two of Wands as hope and fear in equal balance. And to me, this is almost like a blueprint. This is, I know what it is I want to do, and maybe I'm working with vision boarding or goal setting, but I'm not actually doing it yet. And it's making me anxious to think about doing it. So I literally think about these painted here as a blueprint. And so when you are doing a reading, and obviously these stupidly large cards are my teaching cards, I don't actually read for them. I have done on the odd workshop, but they are better. They're wonderful for really looking at in depth, and I use them for teaching, but I also use them for studying. So if I'm really looking in depth at a card, having the bigger picture is fantastic. And my number one advice to you is, whenever you are doing a reading, make sure that the very first thing you do is look at the card. Look at the picture. Just stop and look. Because it's very easy to get caught up in our thoughts and think, oh God, yeah, I know what that means. Or even worse, I don't know what that means, and I'm going to look it up right now. And you've lost the intuitive flash. The first point of reading the cards is to actually look at the cards, look at the image, and allow that intuition to flow. So my advice is, you look, just allow the card to speak to you, and then think, what do I know about this card? Or perhaps go away and look it up. But if you've got a set of cards out in a reading, and I'm just going to reach across now for my more regular size deck, and let's just say I'm just going to shuffle and just do the simplest reading of all, which is, what do I need to know? 3 cards, just shuffling. I like to cut the deck. Just pulling 3 cards, and we've got the Page of Cups, we've got the 8 of Pentacles, and we've got the 2 of Swords. And my first advice is just look. Just see what is there any connections between the 2 cards? Is there any link between, sorry, three, is there any link between the three cards? As I look at them quickly, I'm not particularly doing a reading, but it makes me feel that the Page of Cups is looking at the fish, the Eight of Pentacles is looking at the Pentacles, and the Two of Swords is looking within. And there's this idea of where is your attention. Card at the bottom of the pack is always important. Star, of course, is the wish card. We've got the water coming all the way through here. When you start to really look at the cards, look at the symbolism, it's the easiest way to then join the dots between the different cards. Is to look at the symbolism that joins them and then begin to create the narrative around that. Just off the top of my head, super quickly, the Eight of Pentacles is, of course, the work card. The Two of Swords, the Page of Cups, Star, deeply spiritual cards, very sort of, inner zone cards. And there is no water in the Eight of Pentacles. There's almost like it's become a little bit mechanical there. And one of the things I'm trying to do with my work is to be more playful. The problem with anything, even if you love it to bits, is if you're doing it day in, day out, it can become a little bit mechanical. And I am definitely challenging myself to explore tarot, shamanics, and rune lore in more creative and playful ways. And in fact, I'm currently in the process of creating my own rune deck. So I am trying to rectify this and to bring more creativity in. It's just a very quick illustration. But my honest advice is look at the cards, take note of the cards, learn to see the symbolism between the different cards. The reason that you'll see that I almost exclusively read with the Rider-Waite deck, I sometimes read with Druidcraft, is I want to read with a deck that I genuinely know each and every card intimately. I have many beautiful decks. I may choose to read for myself with other decks for the pleasure of connecting to the image of another deck. But professionally and for readings that really matter, I'll always come back to Rider-Waite because I know the symbolism well.